The highly anticipated rematch battle between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev is finally over, and here are the pros' reactions.
Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira for the heavyweight world championship at the fucking White House. Main event.
Here we go, round one. We're doing it. Oh my God, he's coming out. Let's go. Let's go. Knock his ass out in the first round, baby.
Oh, getting after right away. Yeah,
Jesus.
Oh,
there we go.
He's hurt.
Nice down block.
Nice, bud. Nice. Let's go, baby. Don't pee yourself out.
No, bro. These are going to be heavy.
Pick those shots. Don't pour a bunch of... Oh.
12 to 6. That's legal. Stop it. He might stop.
Holy... Holy... Who said what owl will be knocked out in the first round? This guy did,
Yep,
huh?
we picked
That's
it.
right. Did you really?
Holy. Chama's
Nice.
back. Chama is back.
Look at that.
Just calm. Dude, Pereira came out aggressive. Ooh, big right hand from Pereira. He hurt Ankalaev. He's throwing hammer fist. He's covering up here. He's blocking. He's covering up. He's surviving here. What's he doing? Don't you stop it, Herb. Don't you dare stop it. He's blocking this. Herb jumps in? What? What? Why would he jump in there? He was blocking everything. I'm done. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's a crazy win for Pereira. Hurt him with a right hand. Blocked every shot on the ground, but Ank's got to move. That's insane. That's insane. Pereira wins. Got to be Ulberg next, I guess. That's fucking insane, man. Herb just jumped in.
Right hand from Alex wobbles Ank. He's wobbled. Ankalaev's wobbled in round one. Big shots from Alex on top. Big shots from Alex on top. Stop it, Herb, please. Big shots from Alex on top in round one. Ankalaev's really badly hurt. Big elbows. It's going to be over. It's going to be over. It's going to be over. Herb fucking step in. Let's go. Fuck that fucking freak. Humanity. Humanity. Ridicule that goblin freak. You big gnome. Thick off. Let's go. Let's go. Humiliate that fucking gnome. Let's go, Alex. That fucking freak. Chama. Chama no Chama. Let's go. Yes. Heavyweight, Tom, fulfill your deal. Fulfill your deal, Tom Aspinall. And I want to see Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira for the heavyweight world championship at the fucking White House. Main event. Alex Pereira, Tom Aspinall, heavyweight undisputed world championship. The chance for 3 belts at the White House in June.
People love him. People love the way he fights, and can't be bummed out with the way he performed this evening. So today I was at work and had a bunch of meetings over there this afternoon, and I went over to the PI, and he was over in the PI. And I'm like, well, you're the last guy I expected to see here today. What are you doing here? And they're telling me we want to fight at heavyweight. I said, how about we win tonight and focus on tonight, and then we could talk about, heavyweight. And I don't know. There's still fights here in this division. But we'll see. I mean, this guy has been an absolute stud for us. He's on vacation in Australia, flies over and fights because, somebody fell out. He fights when he's hurt. He doesn't care. He wants to fight everybody. He wants to move up to heavyweight.
Before the fight, the MMA world couldn't stop talking about this highly awaited rematch. Legends, analysts, and fighters shared their raw reactions, and some of those takes ended up surprising everyone. Ahead of the event, Kamaru Usman had looked back at the first fight between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. He said many fans were not happy because they expected Pereira to score a big knockout. Instead, Ankalaev stayed calm and slowly wore him down. Usman explained that people started asking if Pereira was fighting too often or traveling too much, which caused more questions.
To a lot of people, that first fight was kind of lackluster. Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. People wanted to see Alex Pereira potentially do what Alex Pereira does, which is put your head in the upper deck. And unfortunately, we didn't get that. Magomed Ankalaev systematically broke him down over time.
Usman had then said things felt different this time because both fighters knew what to expect. He explained how Pereira and Ankalaev had shown each other respect outside the cage, even talking face to face through a translator without anger. He thought it was unusual, but good to see two rivals act so professionally. For Usman, it showed they respected each other's skills.
And a lot of people questioned whether maybe Alex Pereira was traveling too much. Alex Pereira was just fighting too frequently. He was a UFC savior, blah, blah, blah. A lot of words, a lot of speculations around that. But now both guys know what they're up against. Alex Pereira understands how dangerous Magomed Ankalaev is. They've had run-ins, and it's the most respectful run-ins between combatants that we've really ever seen. We see them at the PI with each other. Not only are they with each other, they're with each other, talking about each other to each other through a translator. It's the most respectful. It's the most respectful.
After Kamaru Usman had highlighted the respect both Pereira and Ankalaev showed each other, Henry Cejudo gave a more technical view. He explained that if Ankalaev wanted to win again, he had to keep the fight in the center. Cejudo said Pereira fought too close to the cage last time, which had helped him defend takedowns but also cost him control, leading to his loss.
Yeah, no, well, the keys for a guy like Ankalaev to get that victory once again is he's gonna have to fight him in the center, bro. This is what I will say, and a lot of people don't recognize it. Even in that fight, Alex Pereira fought a lot closer to the cage, bro, and he was able to defend Ankalaev's takedowns a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But it also didn't. But it also caused them to lose the fight too, because he was there a little too long. You know what I'm saying? So you have to give that control time to a guy like Ankalaev. But for Magomed, he's gonna have to get those takedowns. He has to do it early, and he's gonna have to do it in the center. For light heavyweights, it's two steps back, literally, bro, and they are against the cage.
Cejudo had built on his point, saying light heavyweights only needed a couple of steps before ending up near the cage. For that reason, Ankalaev had to secure his takedowns early and fight with pressure. On the other side, Cejudo said Pereira's key was using his lead leg more. If Pereira improved those kicks, he could open new options, just like he did against Adesanya.
You know what I'm saying? It's different, bro. It is so freaking different, dude. The octagon is so big, but when you half it and one guy's in the center, the other guy's kind of like on the outside, it only takes 2 steps for a light heavyweight. So these are the things that Magomed Ankalaev needs to do to secure it. And for Alex Pereira, man, he's chama. He's gonna have to let go of that lead leg kick, man, because his right is really good, but if he can make his right lead leg if he can make his left as good as his right, if he did that for this camp, it could be a different fight, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Alex Pereira does shoot to both sides, bro. He was able to break down Israel Adesanya, where Israel was just switching, and he just had enough. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously he ended up, getting the victory. So these are the keys, in my opinion, or in my prophecy, that I believe needs to happen.
Before sharing his thoughts on the rematch, Alex Pereira spoke about Magomed Ankalaev's personality. He explained that meeting him in person gave a different impression compared to seeing him online. Pereira felt Ankalaev acted politely face to face, but online it seemed different. Many fans also believed Ankalaev wasn't the one running his social media, and Pereira admitted he sometimes thought the same.
When we're in person, he seems like a nice guy from what he said at the PI, but when he's far away, I can't understand what he's saying. I don't understand what he's saying.
Muitas pessoas acreditam que não é ele, né? E por certo momento também acreditei no dia no PI, Porque ele falou algumas coisas e depois, pô, se escondeu no PI. Então, pô, pergunta agora pra ele por que ele se escondeu.
A lot of people believe it's not him posting online, and sometimes I believe that too, you know, going off of what I saw and what he said at the PI.
Furthermore, Pereira had questioned if Ankalaev was really the one posting online, saying he seemed polite in person but different on social media. This created more tension before fight week. Building on that, Ankalaev had responded with fiery words, telling Pereira he was ready to punish him. He promised that on Saturday night he would beat him badly, showing his confidence and determination.
You guys are firing me up. It's okay. I'm gonna punish you, boy.
Я в эту субботу я нападу на него, как на вора, как будто он что-то украл у меня. Поэтому сделайте это, вы меня сделаете сильнее.
Saturday night, I'm gonna beat him up like he stole something from me.
Before this moment, many fans and analysts argued about whether Pereira could repeat his defensive work or if Ankalaev would adjust. The MMA guru gave his clear view. He had explained that it was very unlikely that Ankalaev would again fail so many takedown attempts. He said Pereira might risk a knockout opportunity, but that danger could come at the cost of leaving himself open to wrestling control.
I'm going to go with Magomed Ankalaev. I'm not going to let what I want cloud my opinion and my judgment. I think it is very unlikely. This is all I'll say. It is extremely unlikely that Magomed Ankalaev again goes 0 for 11 on takedowns, or whatever the number was. There was a lot of them that he just didn't get. It's incredibly unlikely that that happens again. More unlikely than Alex Pereira finding a KO this time when last time he couldn't. Because I think Pereira did a really good job to stuff the takedowns, but in order to do that, he had to give up danger on the feet. So maybe he will risk maybe getting a first round KO.
Continuing his breakdown, the guru had talked about Ankalaev's striking. He said Ankalaev had fast hands, strong boxing, and dangerous kicks. Pereira landed some calf kicks, but they didn't affect Ankalaev like they did against Jan Blachowicz. He also said Ankalaev's southpaw stance could give Pereira trouble because Pereira's low kicks are one of his main weapons, which made this fight even tougher for him.
Or a second round KO over Ankalaev. In order to he'll risk that by maybe focusing on the takedowns less and focusing on stuffing the takedowns a little bit less. But Ankalaev can just hold him up against the cage. Sad part of our sport, but it is there. And not only that, Ankalaev was straight up outboxing him, man. And he has really fast hands and really good boxing, and his kicks are good. And you know, Jan Blachowicz really did do a number on his legs, but I saw Pereira land so many of those calf kicks and they just weren't there for Ankalaev. Now, I'm going to try and think of their stances real quick. Alex Pereira's orthodox and Ankalaev's southpaw. And southpaws have given Pereira trouble in the past because Pereira's low kicks are one of his main weapons. Adesanya's also orthodox.
Moving forward, Michael Bisping had talked about how Pereira wanted to come back, win, and get revenge. Bisping explained that Pereira had to be aggressive, move forward, and act first. If Pereira got pushed back against Ankalaev, he could lose. The fight had a lot of pressure, and Pereira needed to prove himself in this big challenge.
Alex Pereira coming back, trying to reclaim his throne, trying to get victory, trying to get revenge over Magomed Ankalaev. There's been a lot of talk. These two are building it up nicely, and it's going to be a great fight.
No chama. Let's go.
In other videos I've said Pereira's got to be hungry. He's got to be dangerous. He's got to go forward. He's got to pull the trigger, and he's got to be first. He can't allow himself to get pushed back against Ankalaev. If he does that...
Bisping had then looked at Ankalaev's side. He said Ankalaev now knew Pereira was human and could be beaten. Pereira felt pressure to win, not for money or fame, but to prove he could overcome Ankalaev. Bisping explained that Pereira knew Ankalaev was strong, a good wrestler, and could hit hard. This made the fight very tough, both mentally and physically, for Pereira.
He's going to lose another fight. Now, I believe, to a certain degree, for Magomed Ankalaev, the aura of Alex Pereira has gone. He now knows, this man's human. I can beat him. I've taken his best shots. I can take him down. I beat him once before, and I'll beat him again. And that's why we've seen Alex Pereira coming out and talking and saying that he was hiding from him and all the rest of it because there's a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Alex Pereira.
Aí o cara fala para dessa se escondendo, velho. Cuzão, velho, cara, velho.
Not pressure in terms of his lifestyle, not in terms of money, not in terms of his legacy, because that's all set. He's had a great career, but he wants to beat this guy, okay? And I think there's a little bit where Ankalaev is in his head. He's like, this guy's as big as me. He's stronger than me. He's a better wrestler than me.
Finally, Bisping had predicted how the fight could go. He said Ankalaev would push Pereira to the fence and control him with wrestling. Pereira was tough, had a strong chin, and could survive big hits. Styles make fights, and while Pereira could strike hard, Ankalaev could take the shots and fight back. Bisping expected the fight to feel like a continuation of their first battle.
He might even hit harder than me, and he just beat me. You know what I'm saying? You put all that together, Alex Pereira's like, I've got a real challenge on my hands here. Who wins this fight? I think it's going to be the same way. I think Magomed Ankalaev, because of the wrestling, will force Pereira back up against the fence. I think we'll see a lot of control time. I think we'll see Magomed Ankalaev landing some big shots just like we did last time. I think it's just going to be a continuation of the first fight, round 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Will it get to the 10th round? I don't know. Alex Pereira is not an easy man to finish. Of course, he's got an extensive resume in kickboxing. He's got a solid chin. He ain't no pussy, and he ain't like been knocked out. He's not damaged goods or anything like that. The reality is, styles make fights, and Ankalaev can take his shots, he can land shots.
As the debate heated up, Brendan Schaub gave his pick, and fans and analysts debated who had the edge. Some talked about Ankalaev's wrestling and control, while others thought Pereira's striking and experience could win the fight. Schaub looked at both fighters and the first fight. He also thought about Pereira's health and preparation, and how these could change the outcome of the rematch.
So I do think Alex has the tools to pull this off, and for the sport, and for the longevity of the UFC and for this new Paramount deal, you want Alex to win. And listen, I don't need a guy tweeting and doing all the shit talking and all that stuff. It's just Magomed's style, even though he's looked upon as a grappler, but there's just some disconnect there with the fan base and with the media where Magomed's not a bigger star. I do think we see a very different fight from Alex, being healthy, having the tape study of the first fight. Even though he's injured, he can take a lot from that. I hope he wins. I hope Alex wins.
Leading up to the bout, John McCarthy had talked about Pereira and Ankalaev's fight. He said Pereira knew he didn't fight his best last time and needed to do better. Ankalaev had a smart plan in the first fight and used pressure well. McCarthy said Ankalaev could wrestle, but liked striking more. Both fighters were skilled, strong, and dangerous, so each could cause serious problems for the other.
I do think that you're going to see more out of this second matchup than you did in the first one. I think you're going to, I think Alex Pereira understands my output was not anywhere near what it normally is, and I need to up that. And, if he doesn't up it, he's going to end up in the same position he was in the first one. Where Ankalaev, I believe, is looking at his game plan that he had in the first one. It worked well, and it was smart. And part of it was the pressure that he put. Can he put that same pressure back on to Pereira and make him have a problem with his output? Ankalaev, we know that he can wrestle. He doesn't seem to want to do it a lot.
McCarthy added that both fighters could end the fight at any moment. He said Ankalaev was a slight favorite, but Pereira could win with one big strike. He explained the fight was very close and unpredictable. Either fighter could win, making the matchup exciting for fans. McCarthy highlighted that this was not an easy fight for anyone, and both needed to stay alert at all times.
He likes the stand-up, and no matter what, you've got to admit, the guy is good in the stand-up. It's not like, oh, he's a great wrestler and he's a shitty stand-up guy, but he wants to throw hands. No, his stand-up is really good. And he is an accomplished striker. He's an accomplished grappler. He's just good all the way around. But both of these guys have the power and the ability to put the other guy to sleep anytime during this fight. So when you have a fight that you look at and you go, man, either guy can win. It's not like it's there's no doubt in my mind one's going to win over the other. I can't say that in this fight. This is an absolute, I'm going to say Ankalaev is the favorite, but there at any moment, all it takes is one from Alex Pereira to change the course of the fight or to end the fight. So
in addition, Chael Sonnen explained how Pereira got a chance to fight Ankalaev. After losing, Pereira became the #1 contender and could fight the champion Ankalaev. Sonnen said the story made sense. He added that the first fight was hard to set up because both fighters had wins, but many were not on big shows, which made organizing the fight tricky.
It felt as though it was just the right thing to do. Pierre was the champion for so long that with a defeat, he defaults down to #1 contender. And as a #1 contender, he gets to fight for the belt against the guy who's holding the belt, who happens to be Ankalaev. I mean, it kind of felt like that. Not to mention, that story generally works. I haven't seen anything amiss at this point. I just remember how hard it was to get those two to the cage the first time. I remember Roundtree getting pulled off 5 or 6 beautiful wins, 5 or 6 beautiful finishes, but they weren't on pay-per-view.
Sonnen said the second fight was much easier to organize. Ankalaev was available this time, and everything lined up. He explained that the rematch came together fast, and that tension between Pereira and Ankalaev had grown. Sonnen said while the first fight was difficult to make, the second fight became exciting, and fans were eager to watch the fighters face each other again.
Right, it was almost like Raw versus SmackDown. There were 2 good products, but they were different products. And if you're going to fight for the Raw championship, you've got to have done some work on Raw and not get drawn over from SmackDown. Now, once Khalil got in there, we found out he was exactly the guy for the job. I'm just suggesting for you, Ankalaev was available then. In fact, they went out of their way to make Ankalaev unavailable by putting him with Rachik, just to set up the storyline so that Roundtree did draw in to Pierre. So for a fight that initially was very hard to make, the second fight that nobody asked for was really easy to make. But what are we doing here? And how have things heated up so tremendously? Now, let me tell you the problem with this fight all of a sudden getting so much attention and having so much heat on it.
Meanwhile, prior to the bout, Demetrius Johnson had shared his pick, and many analysts discussed how the first fight played out. They noted that Pereira struggled with Ankalaev's rhythm and pressure. Johnson believed that with rest and proper preparation, Pereira could approach the rematch differently. He thought Pereira had recovered, studied the first fight, and could now find new ways to challenge Ankalaev and take control in the upcoming fight.
To off-balance him or in exchanges, I can hit him, right? So Alex Pereira's got to off-balance Ankalaev. If he can do that, he's going to be able to get to that sweet spot, that pop, 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 a lot sooner. So boys, after all that, who do I have winning in the rematch? Ankalaev taking on Alex Pereira. I'm going to go with Alex Pereira. The reason why is because I felt in the first fight, I felt Alex Pereira just didn't have an answer for the rhythm that Ankalaev was doing. But after seeing some videos of Alex Pereira, I think he's refreshed. I felt when he fought Ankalaev, he was just going banger after banger after banger after banger. I think sometimes the athlete that can wear you out, it could extinguish the fire. And I think now that he's had a lot of rest, he's been able to, enjoy the fruits of his labor of all that money he's made. Now he's refreshed, and now he's coming in this fight with a new set of eyes. For that, I'm gonna go with Alex Pereira. Poton.
Additionally, Max Holloway spoke about how Pereira had learned from the first fight. He said Pereira was focused, determined, and would not just stay in the cage. Holloway believed Pereira would be more active, stick to his game, and avoid the mistakes from the first fight. He expected Pereira to take control early and show a better, smarter performance this time.
I think Pereira is refocused. He wants the belt back, and I think with him in that first fight where he was like getting held against the cage and not doing nothing, just staying there, I don't think we're gonna see that. We're gonna see him way more active. I'm telling you right now, I'm willing to bet right now with anyone is that we're gonna see Alex Pereira's vintage leg kicks in this fight. I guarantee he was pissed at himself for that first fight for not doing it, especially with the information that he had with the way Magomed
Holloway also predicted Pereira would use leg kicks early and keep the distance. He believed Pereira had studied Ankalaev's previous fights and was ready to strike smarter. Holloway said this strategy could help Pereira avoid the pressure he faced last time. He expected Pereira to be aggressive, mix leg kicks with punches, and stay in control throughout the fight.
Takes leg kicks in one of his older fights. I think Alex goes in there. You know, he's not going to get hold against the cage. I think he's going to stay his distance. I think he's going to get on the leg kicks, early. And I think Alex get his hands raised, man. I think Pereira is going to be the champion again. And it's going to be fun, you know. Like, no disrespect to Magomed. No disrespect to him. He's a beast. He's an animal. I think he's really good. But I don't think Alex is going to let him push him against the cage like how he did in the first outing.
Finally, Holloway said the rematch would be exciting for fans. He praised Ankalaev as strong and skilled, but said Pereira would not let him push him against the cage like before. Holloway expected Pereira to start the fight aggressively, use combinations, and regain the championship. He highlighted that the main event would be fun, competitive, and a must-watch for MMA fans.
And I don't think Alex is gonna wait too much. Like, Alex was waiting on him a lot, and that's why Magomedov could go first, and you know, he'd start the combination and he would also end it, you know. I think Alex is gonna start. I think he's gonna come out early, super early with leg kicks, and I think so we're gonna get an new for this main event, man. I can't wait. This card is fun, you know. It's gonna be great. I think Alex Pereira goes out there and regain his championship.
Meanwhile, Chael Sonnen had explained that fighters always learn from their matches, no matter when they fight again. He said the lessons go both ways, helping the winner and the loser. Sonnen highlighted that experience gained in the cage is valuable and stays with fighters for years. Even if a fight doesn't go perfectly, the lessons shape their future performances.
They're going to be fighting this weekend, but they could fight 5 years from now. They're still going to be able to recall the things that they learned from that match. And the problem is that goes two ways. This whole I learned something, I got better, I'll do different, I'll do better next time, having felt him, isn't just assigned to the loser. The winner of the contest gains from those same benefits.
Sonnen noted that Ankalaev wanted to take Pierre down, but Pierre's wrestling and scrambling were stronger than expected. Fans got to see skills they hadn't noticed before. The fight showed how pressure can force fighters to adapt quickly. Both athletes learned from each other, and the audience got a clear view of high-level strategy, defense, and how elite fighters respond in tight situations.
Ankalaev did not fight the fight that he wanted to. Don't forget that. Ankalaev's plan A went out the window. Was it because Pierre was too slippery? Was it just because Pierre's defense was too good? Either way, Ankalaev's plan, and the one that he went to first, was to take Pierre down. It's one of the things that really stood out as a Pierre fan. We all had to look around and go, wow, this guy's got good wrestling defense. We didn't know that. We didn't know that his wrestling defense is elite. We didn't know that his ability to scramble.
Finally, Sonnen said the fight remained exciting and a little mysterious. Both fighters learned lessons, and fans witnessed strategies unfold. The first 5 rounds highlighted the importance of adapting under pressure. These rounds helped each fighter grow and stay sharp. Fans could see the mental and physical adjustments happening in real time, keeping everyone curious about the fighters' future performances and possible rematches.
Was so strong. But the reason that we were able to learn and see how good that defense was and that those scrambling abilities were in place is because Ankalaev forced the pressure. He forced through the takedowns. He wanted to get to a double. He wanted to tackle him. He wanted to get him on the mat. What happens then? We don't know. It's still a mystery. It's still very captivating. I'm still equally as curious. But whatever benefits that Pierre would have gained from having felt Ankalaev in rounds 1 through 5.
How did you see the fight, and what were your predictions? Who was your favorite fighter? We would love to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comments section below and subscribe for more content like this.